if I have to regenerate for something, if the device goes blank, then I need to regenerate.
Okay, so yeah, we can bring it over here and see if it's on the screen or it's up there.
Yeah.
And then I can full screen it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got it on standby.
Yeah, I'll keep the device here just in case. No, I'll hold it. Thank you.
I should be able to get the if I left here by 4, take the SFR.
Yeah, that should be possible. Yeah. 1 hour. Yeah.
But it's during rush hour.
That's fine.
Yeah. And then I get to the airport at 5. It doesn't start boarding until 5:45. I'm clear pre-TSA. Oh yeah. That was the first time I said that. So did he get it working?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got it up.
So did you switch it? Just hopefully.
Hopefully this doesn't crash. Right. So. I just want to move it somewhere where it shows the entire room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Does it show the entire room?
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
See? Yeah. I just hold it up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You can go right up to Diana.
I'm not. No.
You'd be my Vanna White here, right? You could do a hot and cold beverage.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is it hot?
It's not now, but yeah.
But it's but next to that it would be.
Let's see.
You can say guess the beverage.
There you go.
Which one's hot? Which one's cold? The banana. That's room temperature. That's the control. I still think though people more of a. But I don't know if you saw this. I took this with overall. So that's Chip.
That was cool, actually.
Now watch it heat up
Change color. That is
as
very
it
cool.
starts coming up. It's great. It's artsy too. So then you can see.
Is that an
Fill up.
espresso machine?
Yeah, that was a coffee machine. Then you can see. Then you can look up here where the heat starts gathering as it rises. You can start seeing. You can start seeing it around there, right there.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
It is kind of
It's
fun.
artsy.
It's fun.
That's how I knew it was done. Because it filled it up. Can't be stopped. What's cool is the heat that's rising is collecting. Because I don't think that's heating up from the machine. I think it's the heat rising. Because you can kind of see the little steam. It's a little off-putting because it's only 9 hertz refresh rate. Yeah. And that's by design. I guess one of the layers could do it. Because I think it would be weapons grade with it. And then there's 2 things there's 3 things that are a little off-putting for people. One is the 9 hertz refresh. It's a little bit of lag. The other is what they call the FPC, which is where it's a mechanical shutter in there. If the sensors, all the pixels, if if it thinks it needs to recalibrate because you've changed from too much
To
the
heat
print,
and yeah.
it'll drop the shutter down, recalibrate all the pixels, and then raise it. So it freezes the image.
It does that every 9 or
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that,
that
freezes the
explains
image.
some of the complaints I've heard. It's
Yeah.
by design, it's not because it's defective.
yeah.
We sent out an FAQ on
Yes.
this. And the other one
No,
that
we walked in,
I
through
know.
the
the
entire
other one
thing,
is the parallax.
yeah.
Because
So that we can
you
adjust.
you got the digital and both the digital and the thermal.
This is actually the thermal. There is no photography in there. So if you cover this, you will see actually just the outline. You don't see the temperature.
You get single
So
temperature.
if I remove that, then you will see that.
Yeah, but if you focus on the can, if it's too close, you see it won't line up with the thermal.
Yeah, you see that here. The
Yeah,
line
because-
here.
outline of
That's
it,
the
yeah.
parallax.
Because
Yeah.
it's the same thing if you go like this versus like that, you see the shift. So it's the same way.
Exactly, right.
That's very cool.
I do think though, with AI,
We can fix that.
you can fix it.
Fleer can fix it, or we would have to fix it.
It's there.
Probably Flair would have to fix it. But you could do the alignments easily, the visual and the thermal.
Huh?
If you need to
Charge it. No, I got almost 80% charge. That's fine.
So he'll just switch over and then project it.
Yeah.
So I'll give him the cue.
Yeah, you might want to highlight those things, the parallax and the 9 megahertz. And
I don't know if we'll get into too much. I might just blame it on YouTube.
if you Google folks are here,
Just blame it on the lag is coming from YouTube. I think that's probably the best one, just to be able to do that.
exactly.
Because one of the things that I'll mention, some of the use cases for this in public safety or critical comms would be first responders, firefighters, search and rescue, security, hazmat.
Yeah.
Well, we don't lock bells. Right. He's asking for a pin or something.
Yeah.
So I think it may be
Could be. I mean, I think the phone does have a pin lock that you can add.
Yeah, like a screen lock.
Right. Maybe that's what it is.
They've been using it, and then also
Yeah, that's more than likely probably what it is. Although I haven't used that, I'd have to check to see if that feature is still here. I suspect it is. On the thermal. Oh yeah. See if you can get a picture. No problem.
I thought they did it for a worse time, but they went and done.
Now there's a keypad lock.
There's a keypad lock, yeah. That can't be challenge, I think that's, anyways, that's just I should ask you just in case there was.
Yeah, we don't sim.
Yeah, no, we don't.
No.
I always keep it.
Right, it's kind of like crack.
It's surprising. I don't think of it.
And then there's another one. And then JGS. I know. We should talk to someone.
It's just like, oh, you want to have like a nice summer shower. It's like, nope, not at all.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah. Well, I mean, we've reached plausible conclusions, but it could be. I mean, it's like Occam's razor. Probably not far from it. But we have another meeting with this.
Next week is supposed to be.
You're right. For sure.
I remember the second
I think Jason did get to do it.
Oh, wow.
and it was not what we
Why don't tell you?
See, that's really bad. Took me just as long to drive here. And he lives here. He went an hour and 45 minutes.
I have that issue where it's like, go to the gym, Tampa. So it's like a 4 hour, like 3 hour, 3.5, 4 hours. So we go to the airport, you can fly there, they're going to fly, but if it's delayed or anything, and you're like, it's like,
It could be worse. We could be he has to head out the day before.
how long take on where's he fly from?
It's like a 2-3 hour drive. Oh, yeah. Well,
Was that the point?
I mean, Solana Beach too. So he lived 3 hours away from something about his closest takeaway airport.
If he had his own, jabbing future, right?
I think that's not it. I think he's waiting
Or at least
he's
a
waiting
chopper.
for Black Friday. Yeah, there you go. That's the thing, because I have a team's background. Private jet.
Yes, he's in a race car.
But is it like, so most backgrounds, like, we have like the background for shit in the conference room, and you're like sitting in the middle of the conference room. Like, the aspect ratio is not quite right.
Reasonably good. It's like I'm sitting in one of the leather chairs. And then when you complain, it's like, hey, Zach, how long until we wheel down?
And it is, they all let the solid business. The what? It's just solid business.
Oh, what? Prison cell?
Oh, yeah.
So we have one with the employee of the month in the background that's he's the employee of the month.
But I also have one at Dark Code.
Dark code, yeah, that's Dark code. Dude, he's got everything. You never know what you gotta with him.
I have mine. I have one that I use very experienced cases.
I don't really, as I put my background piece, really just, that or I've turned off the people, creepiness of the people standing behind you, like, fading in and out of nothingness.
Teams now has software integrated.
And then we'll the starlight, the stars are flickering.
I had one that COVID first year. I had a software package called OBS. And I was basically had each offense and the waves and crash and stuff like that. And it's just done like a
little distracting for your
5-minute loop of the waves crashing and stuff like that. But the problem was the computer. I mean, 2015 called.
I've actually had a discussion that the age of David, the age of all your laptops, the retrofit plan, help us to get the laptops out. But I can also do ads. Right, so they're planned very quickly to get all laptops out to you guys that are managed.
It's like a quarter thing. And there are times when, for some reason, it just goes just so you
That's an annoying anxiety.
So I usually have my phone.
11:55 every day. And first it was in the office. I was like, is someone like unplugging like a switch?
Was it a Lenovo or something like that?
Yes.
That might be my phone.
So that part's fine.
Both angles.
I mean, it's just
Can you come to the front?
Yeah. So Ed is like super whatever. I'm like public Wi-Fi or Chinese train station. Like I'm like these like I don't care. Like I'm not that important. Yeah, 100%.
I use a VPN.
We have a VPN. All of my I was trying to go out 2 weeks and my VPN didn't work. It's super annoying because I can't access like Bamboo or HR system or I can't get any of those systems in China. And it's like so when it gets to my 401k, any of those things. And so it's like I have like employees with me to get like PTO approved, I can do it. And it's like super annoying. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to I'll look it up like 401k.
Yeah, with the VPN. That's why I'm saying, right, like, I'm saying, like, it's like, it's like, I'm not, privacy is the thing that the Chinese have embraced that fact. That's why, like, Shenzhen is so clean and nice. And they're like, yeah, I'm not going to steal. I watch everything. Like,
That's the government.
Right? So, like, I think China and, like, but same thing, like, they don't, they're into large scale crimes, so they don't want you to ruin that hustle with this small, like, petty shit.
That's the other thing when you go to the bar. Certain content that they frown on.
Oh, like, I used to have an office guy, and I just got work. I worked because of it, but nothing to do with it. I just got work. Who is a former and my guy who is a businessman says he's like
If I could please ask you to take your seats.
next thing he calls me, I'm not going to do any bus. Trying to say, wait.
Rugged devices. We're going to crash the
So that
What do you think?
Yeah.
We should have had someone that doesn't like it's indestructible.
Break up room, try to make a shed like this. This guy's area.
See what kind of weapon you can make out of this thing.
Please may I ask you to take your seats?
Put your hand on there. Now, show where my hand is.
oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I I didn't
All
push
right,
my
we're gonna get
thing.
through this. Come on back, everybody. We have some exciting things to talk about. I'm Lonnie Summers. I work on our Android enterprise team in business development. I will ask my panelists to please also strategic and business development initiatives for critical communications.
My name is Keith Williams. I'm the public safety strategist with T-Mobile for Government. I've been with T-Mobile for a little bit over 3 years. Prior to that, I was a commander with the Detroit Police Department, where I did almost 28 years. We have 4 industry segment advisors for T-Mobile. All of us are former command officers with various agencies throughout the country. And I'll talk a little bit more about that.
Hey everybody, JJ Snow, retired Lieutenant Colonel. I am a former Intelligence Office Corps Innovation Group for Special Operations Command. I'm currently with the NEXA Advisory Board, and I also have my own firm, which is Hustle and Go, co-founded with the lovely Jen Spiller in the back. Delighted to be here.
My name is Mike Code. I've been in the wireless telecom pretty much my entire career. A couple of stints at Qualcomm, Sprint PCS, and then at Sonim for the last 15 years, and I'm in the product group at Sonim.
Thank you very much. So our first question, I will be asking for Ethan and JJ, so okay? So on interoperability and implementation, SideLink, key priority, network slicing, these are all very, very powerful tools. What is the single biggest technical hurdle that you face right now in deploying these 3GPP standards across diverse public safety agencies? And how is the industry addressing the crucial challenge of this that we face is the fact that in the US especially, it's very fragmented. There isn't one federal standard, and I mean not 3GPP standard, but just a standard across all first responder departments on what type of technology they should be using, what budgets they have, what they should be spending. So you have some people that are really far behind, others that are a little bit more ahead, and some that are even creating proprietary solutions that aren't standards-based that are really hard to then build legacy off of. I would say the state of interoperability today is not where it could be or should be. You have a lot of great solutions, but as you probably know from T-Mobile, there's some issues with how certain carriers look at their ownership of public safety, which can create some issues.
Well, what I don't want to do is badmouth a competitor, but I'm gonna ramble just a little bit, just giving a little bit of history on T-Mobile and the public safety team. And about 6 years ago, T-Mobile announced that they were going to operate in the public safety space, and it invested $7.7 billion into public safety. And created a program called Connected Heroes. And what that program was really to augment, costs for agencies that couldn't afford new technology. And what they did this February was expanded on that and announcing T-Priority. And T-Priority is the world's first network slice dedicated not only to first responders, but those that's also responsible for critical enterprise and critical infrastructure as well, because we recognize that there was a gap in that space where the communication between, when you think about it, during a critical incident, you don't think about the people that bring the porta potty to the catastrophe. And so those people need that communication as well. And so we were able to extend that priority service to them as well. And so that's the biggest gap is really making sure that our industry partners have that communication as well, that the wireless priority services that comes with T priority and that network and slicing. And then also we announced that we T satellite because we wanted to focus in areas where there were communication gaps, in areas where there, I come from a big city, Detroit, so we have antennas all over the place. But small town rural America doesn't have that. And so we wanted to focus some of our expansion towards that too. So we did a lot of investments in small town rural America. But T satellite also fills that gap as well.
The T satellite is very really neat. JJ, can I ask for your feedback as well?
Yeah, I'm glad to share from the perspective of somebody that served with special operations. We went into New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. They're responsible for reopening the airport. And I'll never forget, we had combat controllers on the ground that were trying to direct air traffic through one ear, trying to talk to team members through another ear, and they had like 4 or 5 additional radios laid out in front of them. Local services, interagency task force, federal agencies, federal services. The cognitive load that brings is tremendous. So you're already in a crisis situation. You're already responsible for other people's lives. Making it as simple as possible is going to be key. Cross-carrier communication is key. Compatible modular solutions like swappable batteries in a unified manner for command during these types of events is a really, really big deal. So I think what we're doing here today is so important because these kinds of conversations make sure that we're all on the same page. Now we need to take what we know in this room and bring it out to our military first responders and get them talking about it too and testing it out real time before they have to use it in a crisis situation.
You have a comment, Megan? Okay, I was gonna stop you on this one, but no, thank you for that. And I think that leads into that user experience, right? So critical communications often happen when there's these extreme environments, and of course, durability. But what do you think the most significant innovations in rugged device design, like power, battery life, these sorts of things, like what will directly improve that end user experience for a first responder who is in these high stress, like time sensitive situations? So Mike, I will actually ask you to answer that.
There isn't really a single item. It's really a composite. When we look at it at Sonim on the rugged, especially in the critical comms, it starts with the device. It has to be durable. So we look at the drop protection because if it breaks, it never ends well. Waterproof. We have certifications for non-incendive certain environments. That's really key. So there are certain design attributes around the devices themselves, but then you actually expand that into the workflows of the different individuals. So, for example, what is a PTT is a very common application on a lot of our devices. So our devices will have a nice large PTT key. SOS is another button. Jay had talked about one of their devices that used in the maritime needing the physical button. So we found that there are certain things where, like the SOS button or the PTT button, they really need to have the physical button there. They need to be able to access those without actually looking at the device as well. So there's a certain muscle memory there. Other things that you look at, large battery or large capacity. We typically design our products for a double plus shift, and before they have to start worrying about recharging the battery. Other things, for example, the ability to connect accessories and secure them to the device so they don't come off. If there's an audio accessory, the devices will then also power the accessories. Some of these accessories have amplifiers on them. They're both shoulder mic. So a lot of those things go into the device overall, not just from the rugged, but from the workflow as well. Other things around I mentioned the accessories, but it's also having a comprehensive accessories portfolio. There is no one size fits all. A lot of different users want. Some will have the remote shoulder mic. Some will have more of a stealth type of headset. Some of them will carry it in their pocket. Some of them will carry it on their belt. So there's a number of different accessories that you have to bring to market as well. The other is on the software support, different applications, OS upgrades, security patches, things of that sort are all very important. You start looking into, I guess, some of the other areas that I think play into your answer or your question is on the innovation side, the technology side. Where are we spending our time on trying to drive some of the innovation? One of the areas is in the extended range. Keith brought up T-Satellite. Brett brought up SideLink. Those are examples there. We've got another example on the booth there of a high power mode device. We have a high power mode mobile hotspot. So that is a big technology innovation that we focused on. Others are AI. Certainly you can't drive more than a quarter mile before you can see the word or the letters AI somewhere. But where does AI, and I love the comment, I think it was you, Peter, right, that brought up on the edge, or somebody had brought up on the edge, because in some of these environments, latency can really be a problem. So to be able to have some AI which would improve the responsivity, the responsiveness, the productivity, the efficiency of a first responder without having to necessarily rely on the connectivity, even though that it is there a lot of the time, you still have to be able to have that on the edge. The other area that we've looked at is in sensors. So, for example, we've just recently launched a built-in phone, or a smartphone, rugged smartphone with a built-in thermal imaging camera from FLIR. And FLIR is the leading industry or leading provider of thermal imaging cameras. A number of different use cases in public safety as well as in the trades. We've seen interest from firefighters if they're on the containment line, if they look for hotspots, search and rescue, maybe in the case of Katrina, and in security. And I think we have a demo which I can show you real quick. We're actually streaming from the phone. Mauritius holding that in the background. So this might be, for example, a scenario where there's a command and control center. You've got people in a search and rescue. They're looking for people or animals, things of that sort, or maybe a circuit that's still live, things of that sort. So right here, what you're seeing is a live stream. So Christian's offering to wave his hand. But so, this is not your normal sensor that you're going to find in a smartphone, but in certain public safety and also in the trades, it's a very useful tool. The fact that it's built into the device and it's got the connectivity. So that's kind of the way we look at it. It's not just a single item around it. It's a whole host of capabilities.
Thank you. JJ, do you have any comments?
Yeah, first of all, I'm super excited to have Sonam joining Nexa. Like, you guys have incredible products, and I think I don't want to repeat, but basically processing power at the edge, having that long battery life, the modularity is huge, and then dust, mud, water, if you could think of it, you had it. Sonam has all of the devices that the military needs to be aware of, and so when you couple them with Nexa's modularity and functionality, we're now finally getting to the point where we have devices that are truly going to be game-changing for our military members. So super excited about that.
Thank you, JJ. Thank you for your support. Okay, all right, number 3. So when we look at non-terrestrial networks, satellites and antennas are essential for building coverage, and you mentioned that as well, particularly for the Center of Public Safety Operations. How do we move